Hey everybody, welcome back to Market Watch. It is time to discuss the Digimon trading card game market. Not much of a Digimon intro to give you today. We're going to get right into it. I'm doing something a little bit different today. Something I haven't really focused on before. Different angle. You guys tell me what you think about it in the comments. Like and subscribe. And turn the notification on the smashed potatoes. That way you know when all these amazing Digimon videos go live. But I hope you're watching this and having a great weekend. I know that as soon as I'm done recording this on, Friday evening here, I'm driving an hour to go watch the Joker 2 movie, aka the Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn with the Joker movie. I'm going to watch it in a big landmark cinema with a huge screen and everything. I'm driving an hour to go see it there because where I am, I don't have access to that. And it made me think, never asked my YouTube audience what kind of movies do you like? So you should tell me in the comments what kind of movies you're a fan of. Or if you're seeing the Joker movie, or the Lady Gaga movie, rather, with the Joker in it. And let me know what you guys think in the comments. Just a little personal flair there. Give you something to hold on to there. We'll start with the tradition, though, of course. Of course, the tradition, the Omnimons. And there's nothing really here, so let's move on to the Hexablau. Did you know that both regular art Hexablau and alternate art Hexablau are going through buyouts right now? This is crazy to me. You should buy your Hexablaus because people are willing to spend the money on the Hexablaus. People are willing to spend 20 on regular arts. People are willing to spend freaking $40 basically on alternate arts. So if you have any, I don't know what happened. This is one of the best super rares in the set, though, so you should definitely buy it. Interestingly enough, it's now outclassed Sendromon, but Sendromon's even on the peak a little bit at $14. So that's not even that bad. Sendromon's definitely still really, really good in my opinion. This really intrigues me. This tickles me in my funny area. Heavy Meldromon alternate art has got bought out. I don't know why. I can't tell you why. I'm unsure as to why it got bought out. But it's $25. So if you have any of them, you should probably sell them while you can. I assume this has to do with Digimon Liberator. I don't read it. I think maybe a new chapter came out. Don't ask me. I have no idea. But I assume it's something in that field of things. But anyway, cash in, sell them now, buy them back later if you want them. You'll be able to do that just fine. Foil Tomon is $30. There's only one listing left. People have maxed out at like $15, 16, $17 on this card. You may not sell it for 30. But try. There's no harm in trying to make a little bit of extra money, right? And in the same camp as Metal Heavy Dramon. Holy moly, had a moment there. This is getting bought out too, kind of $16. Earlier in the week, it was 10, right? Or 12, whatever. Now it's up there. It's getting up there in price, and soon as 20. So maybe grab this card while you can, I guess. All right. We're going to do something that I haven't really officially done before. I've done it the odd market watch, but nothing too crazy. We're going to talk about how expensive the Digimon card game can really be if you're one of these peeps. This might not interest you, and that's okay. But if it does interest you, well, let me tell you. So playing the Beelstar deck is a very expensive endeavor, because you might want 3 of these, which runs you $1,500. And then you might also want 3 of these, which will also run you just under $1,500. Not to mention you have a whole bunch of foil options when added together. They cost about $130. Then you have, the Ultra Magna Kids and the Gunders, which luckily aren't that much. You got some other foil stuff in the set. Yeah, it's 3,000 plus to build a max severity Beelstar deck. If that interests you, that's great. If not, I don't blame you, honestly. If you want a nice, expensive staple card, maybe 1 or 2 copies of it, this is what it costs for a near mint copy, $564. Times 2. It adds up, right? If you want this card. I know Galaxy players like to play 2 copies of this card, 2 copies of this card. I know Imperial players like to play 2 copies of this card, 1 copy of this card, Other decks that can splash in a blue, green, white can play this card too. Expensive staples in this game are expensive, and we'll get to more of them soon here. If you want the holier-than-thou Andromon Ace lottery card, well, you gotta spend $11,000. Just kidding. Don't do that. That is a joke. But as you can see here, the most recent sale was $330. That's reasonable. You'll probably be able to buy them for $330 each. So if you want 3 of them, it's $1,000. You know, these yellow decks are not cheap, but we'll get to that. Don't you worry. Don't worry. If you're an Omnimon enthusiast or a control player enthusiast, there is an Omnimon control deck out there. If that really interests you, you want 4 copies of this card, you're spending $1,860 on a playset of Omnimon Aces. And that's just that. You know, there's other expensive cards in the deck too. An Omnimon deck this format, depending on what flavor you're going for, can cost you anywhere from $2,000 to $3,000 for max rarity. It's bananas. So I would definitely, you know, it's always the tier 2 decks that seem to cost the most, unless you're an Imperial player. Okay, well, anyway, moving along from that, Ruin Mode. Expensive staples, right? $65 for a max ready copy of Ruin Mode right now. You might want 1 or 2 copies of this card. Crazy people like me have been known to play 3 copies in their decks. That's $195 in some staples. That's expensive. Analog Youth. This card's basically a staple. Some decks, like Lugamon, for instance, play 4. Well, that's $240. And then if you're playing 3 copies of Fenrir, Lugamon, Takumi, Kazuchi with the lottery card, that's another $600 in those 3 cards right there. So all of a sudden, you know, look at $840 in 7 cards. That's a pretty penny. Now, fortunately, Lugamon doesn't get more expensive than that because Kazuchimon only has an alt art. And, you know, the rest of the stuff only has, like, alt arts. But be careful, because the red dog, whose name is escaping me right now. Oh, God. Oh, Hell Lugarmon. Hell Lugarmon has a regional champion stamp rarity. Right? Look. It has no listings. You need way more money to buy a playset of that. A lot more money. I like to joke with one of my teammates, Antics. So if you're watching Antics, shout out to you for this. He would have his max rarity Lugamon deck, but his Lugarmons are not champion stamps. They are finalist stamps, which is pauper material. Yeah, it's funny. But yeah, max rarity Lugamon, hell of a price point because of this card, basically. Alright, Loosemon Chaos Mode. If you're going to be a Loosemon enjoyer, come Release Booster 2.0 or whatever, you need $280 if you buy them right now. I promise you this will be more expensive when the set actually comes out. So maybe be smart. You want to play Demon Lords, you want 3 of this, $210. If you want 4 of this, you want $280. And I went to Demon Lords yesterday, so I won't talk about it, but it costs a very pretty penny to max rarity your Demon Lords. Because of Gudamon's a lottery card, you have Lilith Mommy, you got all sorts of crazy stuff in there. Ruin Mode alt arts. It's an expensive deck. Definitely over $1,000 to build that deck max rarity. Death X-Mon. Now, depending on what flavor of chips you want to munch on here, this right now is the most expensive version of the card by a couple bucks. It is more expensive than the event pack version of it, so I guess that makes this max rarity. But if you want Death X to add to your collection, that's $56. 2 of them, double it. It is what it is. You might want to consider picking up a Gallantmon, because sometimes this card's a staple, depending on the format, right? $60 for near light plays, $65 for near mints. Maybe you want to. Maybe it's $130. If you're a max rarity Royal Knight player, let me tell you something. You're going crazy. You're hating yourself. Because max rarity Royal Knights is one of the decks of all time. You need a few of these, 4 of these, and this has the max rarity version on top of this as well. No, 4 of these. It's actually not that bad anymore. It used to be a lot worse. I guess it's okay. Well, Royal Knights isn't that good. I guess that's why it dropped. Anyway, still expensive for a rogue deck, I'll tell you. Rapidmon here. If you are a bunny enthusiast, $60 times 4. Yeah. Be lucky, though, because you think with Magna X, this is the most expensive that it gets. No. If you actually want to play a max rarity Magna X deck, this times 4. Yeah. That's $2,600 for 4 cards. And that's not including all the other yellow vaccine-related cards you might play. Or if you're playing the armor variant, again, 4 max rarity of each Magnamon that's come out so far, plus Flame Dramon, plus some VMons are expensive. It adds up. It's very expensive if you want to build max rarity Magnax. You're looking at around $3,000 plus, no matter what variant. And if you want to do the yellow vaccine variant, it's even more. It's even more than that. What about Shoto? Well, buy 4, $160. Yeah. This will be one of those alt arts over time that goes up and down, depending on what happens. A lot of people think this card will be on a ban list. I don't think so. I think it'll be a while. I think, if you want my honest opinion, Bandai is the kind of company that would pump and dump Liberator and then hit this card to 1. That's what I think will happen eventually. So, if even. So, yeah, 160 for a place out of Shotos. Digimon Emperor, another tamer you might want. And again, it's gone down a lot. Give it credit. It used to be like $60+. But again, same thing. $40 times 4, 160. Tamers are expensive sometimes. Good tamers like this, crazy. If you want to be a max rarity blue hybrid player, you need 4 copies of this. It runs you almost $160. But do not forget that you're going to want 4 copies of Koji. And Koji had the D scanner print. So you need $400. And if you're waiting till now, you're lucky. Because this was almost $300 a copy for this card when the blue hybrid hype was real. Yeah. Pretty crazy. Then before you know it, maybe you're playing Ruin modes in the deck because, Ancient Gurumon's a yellow card. Maybe you're playing a 4 Ukomons, which, by the way, regional champion stamp card. Just talk about Ukomon real quick. This deck, max rarity, will run you a very expensive penny as well. Maybe you're a red hybrid enthusiast. Maybe you are. Well, did you know that this card is $40 and you want 4 of them? Well, don't forget that we had an Ultimate Cup. We have Ultimate Cups. Did you guys know? We have Ultimate Cups. And your red hybrid cards got printed as max rarities in this Ultimate Cup. And let me tell you something. Emperor Greymon support is coming out really soon. You might want to make sure you have your cards. Because if you don't, it might get crazy. But even right now, if you're a red hybrid enthusiast that plays the Emperor package, playing 4 of them, that's $2,000 you got to spend. Like a red hybrid deck max rarity in this field, $3,000 basically. Again, we have a D scanner Takuya. Yeah. All right, a couple more decks to round off the palette here. If you're a Dexter or Goromon believer, that's $140 for 4 copies of this card. Depending on what version you want to play, Lugumon version, is probably more expensive, I believe. Yeah, it definitely is. Yep. So if purple base is more expensive, but black base I think is better. So maybe that's a bit of a nice little sigh of relief. And finally, your Liberator promo cards. Your max rarity birds. Now, the price of this stuff solely depends on how many promos you want to play. But, it adds up. It adds up. It really does. So, yeah. Liberator decks are expensive if you play promos. If you don't, then they're actually pretty reasonable. Except for that, Syndromon has a lottery card and Defagamon has a lottery card. But, besides that, reasonable. It's God. Anyway, I hope I was able to illustrate to you guys that max rarity Digimon is actually kind of pricey. I didn't even talk about Imperial, but Imperial used to be pretty crazy in price. It's gone down a little bit, which is nice. But, there are some very expensive decks in the Digimon trading card game if you want to do the bling bling. As someone tried to max rarity all of Yellow Vaccine and realized the project was insurmountable, trust me, it never ends. It never ends. Anyway, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you later. Bye!